You've been doing it all along. Every thought, every emotion, every breath you take. And it's not just happening inside you, it's happening to the field around you. What most people don't realize is that they're already shaping energy. They're just doing it unconsciously, scattered, unfocused, oblivious. And when you're unaware, the results seem random, chaotic, unpredictable. But the moment you wake up, the moment you realize that the so-called external world is just a mirror reflecting the vibrations you put out, that's when life starts shifting in ways that feel almost supernatural. Here's the truth most people miss. You're not separate from the energy you want to influence. You're swimming in it. You are an extension of the very field you're trying to shape. And that field? It's listening. Not to your words, not to your effort, but to your state. This is the subconscious link. This is the hidden current beneath everything you think, say, and do. Pause for a second. Think about the last time something happened in your life that felt like a fluke, a perfectly timed meeting, an opportunity dropping into your lap, or a moment when you just knew what was coming. Those weren't accidents. They were quantum ripples, the field responding to the frequencies you were putting out, whether you knew it or not. But here's where it gets even more interesting. It's not your conscious mind doing the real work. It's your subconscious. Your subconscious doesn't care what you claim to want. It reacts to what you truly believe, what you deeply feel, and what you routinely expect. That's why empty affirmations fall flat. That's why visualizations laced with doubt fizzle out. Because the subconscious link is the back door to the field, and until you open that door, you're just dressing up the front yard. Quantum events aren't magic tricks. They're the natural outcome of your inner world interacting with the quantum fabric of reality. Think about it this way. Your thoughts send out signals. Your emotions attract those signals, and your subconscious alignment determines how clear the transmission is. Together, they either create interference, static that cancels itself out, or coherence, a clear instruction to the field. The question isn't whether you're manipulating energy, it's how well you're doing it. Look at your life right now, the circumstances you're in, the relationships around you, the opportunities, or lack of them, you experience. All of it perfectly reflects the signals you've been sending up to this moment. That's not judgment, that's physics. And once you grasp that, you stop blaming luck. You stop seeing yourself as a victim of fate. You realize you've been shaping your reality all along, just without the instruction manual. But here's where most people get stuck. They assume this means controlling every thought, feeling, and action. That's exhausting. That's not how the field works. The goal isn't to police every mental wave. The goal is to create a signal so strong, so steady, that occasional doubts or negative thoughts don't derail it. You become the lighthouse, not the flickering candle. And here's the deeper truth. When your subconscious aligns with your conscious intent, the field responds with precision. That's when synchronicities multiply, opportunities accelerate, and unexplainable quantum moments unfold. It's not about working harder, it's about broadcasting clearer. Most people live in contradiction. They claim to want abundance, but radiate scarcity. They long for love, but transmit fear. They picture success, but carry unworthiness. And the field responds to your body, breath, and vibration, not your words. That's why subconscious alignment is everything. So here's the exciting part. If you could consciously refine this process, amplify your signal, cut the static, sync your inner world with the quantum field, what could you achieve? What if the life you dream of isn't built step by step, but tuned into, like a frequency waiting for you to find it? Sit with that. If you're already shaping reality unconsciously, what happens when you direct that power with full awareness? Next, we'll dive into exactly how to align mind, heart, and body so scattered energy becomes a command the field must obey. This is where theory meets practice. But first, ask yourself, are you ready for that next level? Here we stand, between haphazard intention and focused influence. Until now, you've broadcasted signals without a guide, often unaware which part of you was steering. But here's the key. Not all signals hold equal power. True energy mastery comes not from effort, but from inner alignment, making your message to the field impossible to ignore. This is coherence. You see, most people move through life in a state of energetic noise. Their mind says one thing, their heart feels another, and their body does something else entirely. This creates interference, a jumbled mess of frequencies that cancel each other out. And when the field gets mixed signals, it doesn't know how to respond. It's like trying to tune into a radio station while blasting static through the speakers. No matter how close you get to the right frequency, the noise drowns it out. But coherence changes everything. When your brain waves, heart rhythms, and nervous system sync up, you become a tuning fork for the reality you want. Your thoughts no longer clash with your emotions. Your desires no longer fight your beliefs. Your body stops working against your mind. And in that moment, the signal you send isn't just a whisper. It's a command. Research shows the heart generates an electromagnetic field far stronger than the brain's. This field doesn't just stay inside you. It extends outward, affecting people, events, and the world around you. And when you combine coherent heart energy with focused mental intention, you create a broadcast signal that interacts with the quantum field in a deeply organized way. But here's the real magic. You don't have to be perfect to do this. You don't need to control every negative thought or suppress every difficult emotion. Coherence isn't about perfection. It's about dominance. It's building a strong enough foundation of alignment so the occasional wave of chaos doesn't derail you. So how do you do it? You start with awareness. Notice when your body is tight, when your mind won't slow down, when your breath is shallow. Bring yourself back to your body. Slow your breathing. Calm your heart. Be fully present in the moment. Then set a clear intention, not from neediness, but from faith. Visualize your desired outcome. Feel the emotions as if it's already yours. Let your body absorb that state. The more you practice this, the more effortless it becomes. You stop chasing reality and start attracting it. People often ask, how soon will I see results? A better question is, how long will you practice alignment until it defines you, not just your actions? Because once this harmony becomes your natural state, reality must respond. Now, let's pause for something important. If this resonates with you, if you're feeling that inner shift, that sense of, this is what I've needed, I invite you to subscribe. Not for numbers, but because this space helps you stay attuned to these principles. And if you're ready to go deeper, tell me in the comments, where in your life do you feel most out of sync right now? This isn't about admitting weakness. See it as a threshold, the starting point for change. Naming it begins to dissolve its hold. Let's continue. You now grasp the difference between fragmented energy and focused energy. But the next level reveals something profound, because alignment alone isn't the full story. There's a deeper mechanism at work, an interplay between you and the field that decides whether intentions materialize. You'll soon uncover the hidden framework of quantum manifestation, how probability, expectation, and wave collapse operate. We'll explore how inner shifts ripple outward, reshaping your reality. Stay with me, because we'll reveal why some experience sudden breakthroughs and synchronicities effortlessly, while others remain trapped in cycles despite effort. Now you know alignment is your foundation. But it's only one piece. To truly influence reality, you must understand probability's dance, the unseen game beneath every moment. Here's the overlooked secret. The universe doesn't grant wishes just because you have them. It mirrors what you genuinely expect. Let me clarify. Quantum physics describes wave functions, parallel possibilities that exist until something locks in a single result. At the subatomic level, reality is a shimmering soup of possibilities waiting to solidify into form. But what collapses the wave? What determines which version of reality becomes the one you experience? The observer. Not a passive observer, not someone watching life from the sidelines, but the active observer, the one whose focus, expectation, and belief act as the needle that stitches potential into reality. And this is where most people stumble. They practice visualizations, set intentions, repeat affirmations. But beneath it all, they carry a hidden script of doubt, fear, and limitation. They check their bank account and anticipate scarcity. They assess their relationships and brace for rejection. They examine their body and predict failure. And so the field complies, not to punish them, but because it responds to the strongest signal. Your conscious mind can declare, "I'm abundant." But if your subconscious whispers, "There's never enough," the field hears the deeper transmission. This is why so many feel trapped, even while doing everything right. They're trying to overpower the subconscious with surface rituals, never confronting the core expectation shaping their reality. Here's where true magic starts. When you align not just thoughts, but beliefs and assumptions, you nudge probabilities in the quantum field. Subtle shifts in posture, thinking, feeling. These are the levers that steer reality. No overnight overhaul needed. Just enough momentum to tilt the wave toward your desired outcome. Picture a hallway of doors. Each door is a possible next moment, day, or chapter. You don't open every one. You open the door you expect to open. And that expectation springs from your dominant state, your subconscious narrative, your gut sense of what's possible. This is why internal shifts often bring sudden external changes. They've adjusted the probability baseline, and the universe must reconfigure to match. But here's the catch. Expectation isn't something you can fake. You can't chant, "I'm wealthy," while secretly panicking about your bills and expect the field to reward you. The field isn't fooled by words. It responds to vibration. So the real work is loosening the grip of limiting beliefs, untangling resistance, and slowly teaching your body, mind, and heart to settle into a new sense of possibility. What does that look like in practice? It means noticing when you tense up in fear and breathing through it instead of shutting down. It means catching yourself bracing for the worst and choosing, even briefly, to picture the best. It means practicing success in your nervous system, not just in your mind. And over time, something changes. The probability field starts rearranging. Events fall into place. Synchronicities pile up. Doors you never noticed swing open. Not because you forced the universe to obey, but because you became a clear signal for the reality you wanted. Now, let's pause here. Can you feel what's stirring inside you? Can you sense where old expectations have been shaping your life without your consent? Good. That awareness is the doorway, because what we're about to explore is the paradox at the core of all this. The reason so many people unknowingly sabotage their own manifestations. It's the missing piece that turns half-hearted attempts into deep, lasting change. What if I told you the real key isn't control, but surrender? Stay with me, because next, we'll uncover why letting go gives you more power over the field than forcing it ever could. Let's move forward. Here's where most people get it wrong. We've been taught to hustle, to push, to grind our way toward the life we want. And while that can work in the physical world, it backfires with the quantum field. Why? Because the field doesn't react to force. It reacts to alignment. And alignment often feels like surrender. Now let me be clear. Surrender isn't quitting. It's not abandoning your desires. It's not laziness or passivity. True surrender is letting go of the need to control every step of how your dreams unfold. It's about trusting the intelligence of the field to handle the details while you hold the frequency of your desired outcome. Think of it like planting a seed. You don't dig it up every day to check if it's growing. You tend the soil, water it, and trust the process. The paradox is that the less you interfere with anxious, grasping energy, the faster things blossom. When you surrender, you stop sending mixed signals. You stop saying, "I trust," while secretly obsessing over results. You stop pretending to let go while energetically clinging. And when you truly release control, the subconscious connection, the back door to the field, opens wider than ever. This is the art of surrendered influence. Here's what most miss. Your subconscious can't be forced into alignment. You can't bully yourself into coherence, but you can invite it. You can create conditions where your nervous system calms, your breath slows, your heart opens, and your energy stops pulsing with desperation. When you do this, magic happens. You cease being the seeker and become the signal. You stop chasing and start attracting. You quit trying to manifest and instead embody what you desire. And the field? It responds, it rearranges, it delivers, not as a reward, but as a reflection. Quantum creation holds a profound trust at its core. The trust that whispers, if I align, the universe aligns. If I embody, reality shifts. If I become, the world mirrors. But here's the challenge. Surrender feels unnatural to a mind wired for control. We crave timelines, guarantees, proof. We demand to know when and how. Yet the more you insist on certainty, the deeper you sink into resistance. The tighter you cling, the more the field contracts in reply. So the work becomes paradoxical. You set the intention, you align the energy. Then, you let go. You quit obsessing over timelines. You stop fearing every detail. You refuse to cringe when reality tests you. And this irony? It grants more power than micromanaging ever could. People often ask, how do I know if I'm surrendered or just giving up? The answer is clear. Surrender feels expansive. Resignation feels dense. Surrender lifts the body. Resignation drags it down. Surrender stays open to wonder. Resignation bolts the door against it. So here's what I want you to reflect on as we prepare to close this loop. Where are you still trying to force outcomes in your life? Where are you clinging so tightly that energy can't flow? And what would it feel like, just as an experiment, to loosen your grip and trust the process? Because here's the truth most people miss. The universe is wired for coherence. The field wants to align with you. Life is designed for evolution, expansion, creation. When you get out of the way, you're not giving up your power. You're tapping into a deeper current of it. Now, as we move into the final section, we'll bring everything together. We've explored subconscious connection. We've examined coherence. We've broken down the mechanics of probability and wave collapse. We've unraveled the paradox of surrender, but none of it matters unless you live it. In the next section, we'll explore what it means to exist as the signal. Not just sometimes, not just during meditation or visualization, but as your natural state. This is where you stop trying to manufacture quantum events and start embodying the quantum event. We're almost there. Are you ready to weave this into how you move through life? Let's continue. Now you see, You're not here to learn to control energy. You're here to be it. Because energy answers to energy. The field answers to signal. And quantum events, they don't come to those who chase. They come to those who resonate. When you walk through life as the signal, embodied, coherent, surrendered, the field doesn't hold back. It rearranges around you. Circumstances shift. Timelines realign. People appear. Doors swing open. Not because you demanded it, not because you deserved it, but because you finally stopped acting separate from the flow that's always moved through you. This is living as the quantum event, not as a concept, not as a daily meditation exercise, but as your foundation, a way of being that says, I know who I am. I know what I serve. I know what I'm here to broadcast. You stop doubting. You stop seeking permission. You stop waiting for proof to believe. Because belief is the proof. Identity is the engine. Vibration is the call. You don't create from scarcity. You don't visualize from fear. You don't manifest from hesitation. You emit. And what you emit becomes unavoidable. Let's make this practical. Living as the signal doesn't mean you never falter. It doesn't mean you never feel doubt, frustration, or grief. It means those states no longer rule you. They don't dictate your frequency. They pass through without sticking. You remember who you are beneath them, and that's what the field responds to. Think of yourself as a lighthouse. It doesn't chase ships. It simply stands firm, anchored, pulsing its signal through the storm. That's your role. That's the practice. Not to control the waves, but to be the steady light within them. Live this way, and something shifts. People around you sense it. They can't explain why, but they feel safer near you. Inspired. Awakened. Opportunities appear out of thin air. Synchronicities multiply. The right words find you at the perfect moment. You'll start to notice life responding to you, not pushing back, not resisting, not holding out, but listening, mirroring the energy you now hold, and you'll realize something deeper. You've always been this. You just forgot. Forgot that your subconscious isn't a trauma dump. It's a vibration transmitter. Forgot that coherence isn't just a pretty idea. It's the switch that powers your reality. Forgot that letting go isn't surrender. It's making space for the field to work as it's designed to. Forgot this. Your presence itself is a signal. Now you remember. So what changes? Now, you move differently. You breathe differently. You speak not as someone begging reality to shift, but welcoming it into alignment with what's already real. You stop trying to become. You recall you already are. The field doesn't need your struggle. It needs your frequency. If you take one thing from this, let it be this. The you that lives your dream life isn't elsewhere, not in the future, not locked behind endless healing, hustling, or proving. That version is in the field. Here, now woven into you, waiting for you to stop acting separate. So the real question is, will you commit to tuning in, fully, unashamedly, relentlessly, until it's second nature? Because when you do, quantum reality answers. Drop a word below for your next leap. Trust, flow, release. Whatever resonates, that word fuels your signal. If this landed, hit subscribe. Let's grow together. Never forget, you're not here to pursue change. You're here to embody it. And when you do, the universe conspires with you.